Are you ready for vocabulary? Teach, learn, make, play, work, eat, with, join, or join, or join. Join has many different signs depending on the intention. You can join a gym as a member, or I can join family and friends who are going for dinner. I can join them, or people can come over to my home and join me. Friend, person, people, work, worker, student, scientist, doctor, police, firefighter, pirate, monster, favorite, fairy. I fingerspell fairy. Some people sign it like this, but I tend to fingerspell it. What do? Live, eat, drink, sleep, walk, run, jump, dance, sit, stand, look, give, take, help, throw, can, can't, see, book, airplane, fly, drink, chair, sit, phone, call, Okay, ready to learn some new words. I want to explain that these new words have many different signs. So it would be impossible for me to teach you them all today, but I'm going to give you the most common usage and some examples. On and off. On, off. That's the most common. But there are other meanings which we will show you in the future. For example, a light goes on and off. On, off, on, off. Next, you can picture a line above and below. Above, below. That's the most used concept. some sign above and below. Next, again, you can visualize a line as in a race. People are lined up at the starting line like a track around a school. They line up evenly. Some are ahead and some are behind. As they're running, they don't all run in a line. They end up some ahead and some behind. Beside, in and out. Put, cup, table, chair. There we go. Those signs have many more uses, and we will show them in the future. When you take more classes, you'll learn more signs later. Classifiers, signed like this, are one area where when you compare English to ASL, ASL is far superior. They are such a fascinating and beautiful part of American Sign Language, these classifiers. But today we are just going to barely touch the surface because really classifiers are complex and deep, and you could probably spend a whole year learning about classifiers. So today we just want to wet your whistle and get you excited for the future and help you want to learn more. So what do classifiers do in ASL compared to English? We use classifiers as pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions, and verbs. They are a really cool part of ASL, and I hope you're ready to learn. Now, a word about classifiers. Classifiers are something you use instead of an actual sign. You use a hand shape. And there are various hand shapes, some that you have already learned, 3, B, 5, etc. The words we just learned, on and off, I'm going to show you with classifiers. So a car, a bus, a truck, a vehicle is shown with the hand shape 3, like this. On, off, on, off, on, off. A person is shown with the 1 hand shape. So for example, a person is running. We would sign it like this. Running slowly, really running. You can show the speed. Fast is like this. Slow would be like this. Flat objects are with a B, shown with the B hand shape. Table, shelf. Cup is with a C hand shape. Chair is with a bent V. So you sit on a chair. I tend to sign chair flap. Some people bend their knees. You can sit and swing. Swing with that bent V. Now, the vocabulary that you just learned with classifiers, I'm going to show you how to use them. For example, the car, on and off. The table, you put a cup above or a cup below. A chair with the cup is beside. Car is here. There's a car ahead and they're driving. Or maybe I'm in this car behind, driving. Or two cars are beside each other. Or here's a car and a person walking ahead, a person walking behind. Here's a car with a person beside, walking beside. A car is here, a cup is above. Chair is here, a cup is on the chair. So those are some examples of how you can use classifiers. Now, a word about nouns and classifiers. The noun must be clarified first. So if I just use this hand shape, I would say, what is this? Is it a car, a truck, a boat? We have to clarify and identify the object first. If I sign this, what is it? If it's flat, is it a table, a shelf, a board, a sheet, a rack, a wood thing that's flat? What is it that's represented by the B's? You have to clearly identify it first, and then you can use the classifier to continue describing it. For example, a car is here and I want to get in and go to the store. Or your car, I'm going to join you in your car. So it's important to clarify that first. If I just have a one hand shape, who is this? Bopping along. I need to clarify and explain that this is my uncle and he joined a sports team and he ran really fast. So it's important to make that clarification. Okay, I'm going to give you some lists of things you know every night when the family tends to get together to eat, right? Mom and dad and the kids, and sometimes grandma and grandpa joins in, and you're sitting around the table. You have certain rules of how you interact at that table. Deaf people have their own rules too. Sometimes when deaf and hearing people get together, there can be conflict because the rules conflict, their concept and culture conflict. So for example, eating out at a restaurant. The lights must be bright for deaf people so that we can see each other signing. Dim, soft lighting, candlelight, romantic date night is not a deaf tendency. The candle gets pushed to the side because if it's between us, it blocks our view and we can't see each other signing. So that's one example. Deaf would, or hearing people would maybe whisper softly, but deaf people don't have that. Just sign loudly as normal. And now at home, when hearing people are together, they would say, please pass me the salt. And it gets passed around the table to this person and they shake it on their food. Deaf tap the table, pound on the table, grab it for themselves. That's the tendency is just to take it. And when deaf people eat together, It's important for a circular table or a C or a U if it's a large gathering so that everybody can see each other and everybody's included in the conversation. Hearing may sit at a long straight table because they can talk across from one end to the other and it's fine, but deaf don't do that. They sit in a circular fashion. So another example is hearing would tend to say, may I be excused from the table? They ask permission. And that's not a typical deaf thing. They just leave, or they'll say, I'll be back later, or I've had enough, I'm taking off, or they just leave. And that's a deaf tendency. What else for hearing people? That's so there's cultural differences. Thank you and have a good day. Eating together. Since biblical times, it is an example of a unique connection, communication, and relating to each other. As the family sits around their table, it's where values and traditions and cultures are passed on. It's where parents model for their children how to interact, and it's where they connect with their children. Even modern studies show the benefits of eating together and how it influences kids' academics, their self-view, and a whole list of positive influences. In the Bible, from the Old Testament all the way to the New Testament, eating together is an important part of so many stories, culminating in the wedding celebration of the Lamb. So something that is so uniquely special for connecting and relating and communicating, if you are rejected from that, it deeply intensifies the pain. And this is dinner table syndrome. Personally, I don't know one deaf person who hasn't experienced this dinner table syndrome. And it hurts my heart. So, what is dinner table syndrome? The family's sitting around and everybody's talking, and the deaf person is sitting there watching the conversation, trying to lip read over here, and says, "Hey mom, what's that person saying?" "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not important." So they watch over here, try to catch the story, elbow their brother and say, "What's that person's story?" "Oh, I'll tell you later." Everyone around the table starts laughing. And the deaf person says, "What's so funny?" And somebody says, "Oh, it's really not that funny." So they withdraw, eat their meal in isolation. And typically, what it causes in this deaf person is a deflated spirit, of course, a lack of interest in connecting, and they find something else to do to lessen the pain of being left out. Whether it's reading or clicking away on their phone or whatever while everyone else is eating, or they'll excuse themselves from the table to go watch TV. And it's even worse at big family gatherings like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, where extended family joins the table. Dinner table syndrome influences a deaf person far beyond the table. They experience this in so many areas of their lives. And it leads to a severe impact on their self-perspective and other mental health issues. Wow. So this leads us to today's church topic. What if? What if these people who their whole lives have experienced, oh, I'll tell you later, being pushed to the side, what if they came to this table that's been set for the wedding feast of the Lamb, and sitting all around in a circle, there are people signing and communicating and expressing with each other, and they find that finally they can connect, and there's no one there who say, oh, I'll tell you later, and pushes them down. At this table, all are included, and communication is with all. One person being left out and ignored and marginalized doesn't happen. Can we, as the Lamb's bride, set that kind of table? I believe we can. One organization that I just love is Deaf Missions. Previously, it was signed like this, and now it's signed like this. This organization has really blessed my life and encouraged me in my spiritual journey and in my signing journey. They have wonderful resources for deaf people. And this year, they will complete the entire Bible being translated into American Sign Language. I hope you will do your homework and take time to investigate their website and learn more about this wonderful organization.